live stream or roll up a power up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.
Get news,
Alright?
man.
Now look,
Big you.
right? So I done fucked up with the little video, but I'm about to show y'all this video. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. Feel how you want, but I'm gonna let you listen to it so you know that I'm not just making up nothing. This is what's going on, you know. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to it, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on it. All right, let's go.
Big U out of California, man. Big U, the Nipsey Hustle. Big U, the Rolling 60 Crip, who Brick Baby them, who Whack 100, I always say, he the feds and all that, man, is on the run from the feds. Now, this come after they saying Big U had killed one of his artists, man. One of his artists wasn't complying with his rules. One of his artists talking about he want to leave after Big U gave him some money, man. They said he got killed and then dropped off on the side of the road in Vegas, man. Say Big U been extorting people, dispensaries, restaurants, clubs, rappers. He been extorting everybody, man. And they saying that he on the run right now. But I'm gonna let y'all I'm gonna get into this video, and then I'm gonna come back and talk. And Lil Durk now, man, that's why Lil Durk now is over with. I really think that this shit gonna be Big U is gonna lead to Lil Durk now to do them like flipping. Number 4, he a lifelong California resident. You hear me? He ain't finna go for them. Big U in jail now too. Man, everybody finna crumble on their ass, man. Anybody from Cali has something to do with Durk finna fold. But we're gonna get into this Big U. They saying Brick Baby. We seen Loose Cannon. His house was surrounded, but we don't know what that was for, because they always woofing. But I'll be back to on y'all after this video.
A little bit about Mr. Henley and the street gang here. As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the rolling 60's. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts. All things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label, and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, Developing Options, which purports to help at-youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high-crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement. Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs, marijuana dispensaries, and other businesses, and fraudulently applying for COVID loans in the form of a business relief loan. On that application, Mr. Henley falsely stated that his music label, Unique Music, operated at a $200,000 profit in 2019 and was entitled to government assistance, despite the reality that the company had operated at a loss and was ineligible for such relief. Finally, Mr. Henley is accused.
Yeah, man, it's looking real ugly, man. Then all those guys been in No Jumper. They said they been on podcasts and all type of shit, man. You know, hey, man, they let the puppet master play them like a puppet, man, and go against each other and do that shit to each other on them podcasts. Now they all finna be in jail together, man. There's 10 people that's been arrested. They said 4 was already in custody. They said Big U has been tied to killing his artist. His name is initials is RW. They said he was killed and dropped off on Vegas. The Big U wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? They saying he ain't playing, man. The Lil Durk situation. Now we know that Quando, he ain't abide by Big U rules. We all know that. And he and Lil Durk was in tour with them, with Quando and them. And they saying in the paperwork that number 4 is a lifelong resident of California. They saying he's a lifelong resident. So whoever it is, man, they definitely finna put Durk, nail him to the cross, bro, on some real shit. Big U is on the run. He's not locked up yet, but he has been charged and he on the run. he must have got tipped off by one of his LAPD sources. That big 600 them be talking about it in loose cannon. But he's on the run, and man, they taking over, man. Get out the streets, go and get you a job. Stop rapping about what you do on mixtapes, on your albums. Stop going on podcasts talking about that your homies them up 50 bodies, cause they gonna come, man. They gonna come, man. And hey, y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. I don't know too much about Cali politics or Big U, but I know that he on the run, and I know that, you know, for the last 20 years, man, they've been saying that Big U backdooring people, Big U did this, Big U did that, Big U did that. Well, the feds, when they do come, man, it's the nail in the coffin, man. It's the nail in the coffin, man. That's all I'm going to say about the Big U situation. They also say Big Brick Baby on the run. I don't know how true is that. And loose cannon. They said that they had their mug shots up there, or they got arrested, or they on the run. I don't know how true it is. I'm just, the picture's just going around with it on there. But Lil Durk them has a lot to worry about. Lil Durk got a lot to worry about now, y'all. You heard it from Trenches News, man. I'm telling you, all this shit finna coincide, watch. All of it's finna coincide. Now, I ain't saying Big U gon' tell it all, but the person from California who called Lil Durk, how many people do you think in California just could pick up the phone call and call Lil Durk, or, you know, one of them like that could just call them, you know, that could get in touch with banks? Like, nah, bro. So, hey, I put the news report up in there. Y'all go and check that out. Hey, second, I want to talk about this Balo.
All right. So, y'all heard that. So now I'm going to go ahead and give y'all my portion of understanding behind this, right? All right. So, first off, like he said, kids, get out the streets, go get a job. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, it don't matter where you work at. Just go get a job. You know what I'm saying? Make you some honest money. That shit gonna take you way further than what you doing in the streets. And it's showing. It's proof right here. You know what I'm saying? All these big guys that you see that's getting all these millions of dollars and living the life and throwing up the gang signs and doing the interviews and all of that, and they talking about their life, and you see that it's backfiring on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to keep it PG. Like the stories I be telling, you know, I keep mine PG. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. You know, they be full on talking, telling everything. You know, and people watch that, man. The people watch that. You know. So these guys, man, they all is done for. You know what I'm saying? And what the Crips got going on in Cali, Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, all of them, what they got going on with O Block, what they got going on. I really feel like both of them is gonna tie dirt into their crimes. You know what I'm saying? Both of them got ties with him. You know what I'm saying? And they all was doing the same shit. Like I said before, with the GDs and the Crips, we 8-ball. You know what I'm saying? Even though Lil Durk not no GD, he BD. You know, they BDs. BDs and GDs is the same shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. It really is. They just like split up at one point. You know what I'm saying? Black disciples, gangster disciples. They both disciples. They the same shit. They under the 6. It's the same thing. They just separated. You know what I'm saying? At some point, and they hate each other. But it's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, they got their connection in Cali. They 8-balling with them Crips. You know what I'm saying? Just like what they saying with the hit that Durk was on. You know, what they saying Durk was on that hit in Cali, you know, on Quando. Now they like tying it in with Big U, you know, because, you know, Big U and them had a problem with Quando, you know. So now they basically trying to say that they set the play on him. You know what I'm saying? And they saying that Durk was on that airplane on that way there when that crime happened. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna tie them Crips that they picked up on that indictment that they talking about with Big U and all of them. They gonna tie that shit in with Durk. You know what I'm saying? They saying number 4 on Lil Durk case. The guy, co-conspirator number 4. They saying he a lifelong California resident. They not saying who he is yet. But by the time this trial unfold and all of that, he gonna have to get on the stand. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I think he's Brick Baby. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people been saying that shit for a long time, you know. And even Brick Baby been, you know, talking or whatever. I don't follow them guys or nothing like that, you know. I just know little shit, you know. And you know, he didn't ran his mouth. He didn't say what he said, you know. So I truly believe that he got something to do with it, you know. So by the time this trial unfold, we're gonna see who number 4 is, you know. And if number 4 is Brick Baby, man, it's a wrap. It's gonna be him. He the one that's gonna give up the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? Whoever number 4 is. But I say Brick Baby because Brick Baby is like a more prominent rolling 60. You know what I'm saying? So if it's him that's gonna get up there and speak on Durk, they're gonna have a better chance at nailing Durk. You know what I'm saying? Because Brick Baby one of the higher up type dudes. And if he the one that tell on Durk, about business. You know what I'm saying? But again, all of this is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong 100%. I could be right 100%. You know, but just coming from that gangbang lifestyle and being in prison and all of that shit, these is my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That the Rolling 60 they indictment, the shit that they got going on, and them O Block guys, they killed FBG Duck. I think both of them is gonna tie Durk into their cases. You know what I'm saying? And on top of what Durk already got going on, like they about to nail Durk. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a wrap. You know, I mean, it's sad to say it, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth, man. Let me go back to what I was saying about the GDs and BDs thing, right? Okay. So, again, y'all know I'm a retired GD. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I was in prison, right? This was 2012 time. You know what I'm saying? I was banging GDs real hard. You know what I'm saying? So, me and all the GDs on the yard, we was all together like that. You know what I'm saying? These 3 guys rolled in, right? 3 guys that rolled in, they was from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And they was some BDs. At that time, I never even heard of BDs. I didn't even know what BDs was. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I'm from Detroit. You know, here in Michigan, we don't know nothing about no BDs. You know what I'm saying? So when everybody was saying that they BDs or whatever, I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know? And like them black disciples. I'm like, you know, what the fuck is that? You know? So they had to school me, you know what I'm saying? They folks too, you know, but they fell out back in the day, you know what I'm saying, and went their ways, but we all under the same branch. So we gotta accept them as family, you know what I'm saying? Even though we don't rock, but when you in prison, all of y'all is together. You know what I'm saying? All of that GD shit, it ain't that in prison. You know, all them guys together. You know what I'm saying? Because they the same shit, you know. But anyway, the Chicago guys, they were some BDs, you know what I'm saying? So they put me hip to what that shit was and all of that. I'm like, all right, cool, you know, whatever, you know, I don't care, you know. So days and days going on the yard, and the GDs, they trying to kick it with the BDs. it's about 10 to 15 GDs circled around these 3 BDs trying to, you know, rock with them, you know, trying to, you know, embrace them. Like, hey, we family, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can rock with us, blah, 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 right? Them niggas was like, no, we good. We not rocking with y'all. This was what the BDs told the GDs in prison, no lie. You know what I'm saying? So everybody like, you know, what's up? What y'all on? Woo, woo, woo. They like, man, y'all ain't no real GDs. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like, what? They like, yeah, Michigan don't have a GD chapter. You know what I'm saying? So basically, everybody in Michigan claiming GDs is fake because it's not no Michigan chapter of GDs. You know what I'm saying? Other states, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got chapters, but Michigan does not have a chapter. You know, I'm like, straight up. That was also a part of why I grew out of all that gang banging, block banging, all of that shit. That was a part of it too. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the first things that taught me, you know, that gang shit is fake, you know. So when they said that, I'm like, straight up, you know. So I went ahead and I jumped in the mix at this point, you know. I'm like, y'all letting these 3 niggas come in here and boss y'all around and trying to check y'all and tell y'all we ain't real G's. Hold on, y'all tweaking. You know what I'm saying? So I ran up on them. I'm like, what's the smoke? You know what I'm saying? What y'all on? What's the smoke? You feel me? The dude that I was talking to, his name was Shot Town. He a real short guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember what, you know, number streets they was from or, you know, shit like that. But they was some BDs from Chicago, you know. So I pulled him to the side. I'm like, you know, what's the smoke? What y'all on? Whoop de whoop. You know what I'm saying? He like, nah, man, you know, it ain't nothing like that. Woo woo. It was like, I just had to tell your people that, you know, y'all not no real GDs. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. He like, look, man, I want to show you something. He like, I'm gonna just show it to you. He went down there to his cell, right? He came back with a thick ass book like this. I don't know how the fuck they be moving that shit around in prison like that, because when you ride out, they thoroughly check all of your property. You know what I'm saying? And when you got shit like that, like gang banging shit, you can't take that to the next prison. You know, so I don't know how the fuck they moving this book around. But like I said, in prison, them guys got talent, you know. But anyway, it's some gang banging book. You know what I'm saying? And he was showing me all the chapters. You know what I'm saying? That's under the 6-point star. You know, that's in a book. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like a 6-point, you know, book type shit. You know what I'm saying? And all of the chapters, which is all of the states that's a part of the whole 6-point star, you know, thing, family, they in this book. You know what I'm saying? So he flipping through the book. He's showing me, he like, y'all would have been right here in this chapter right here. He showed me this shit. You know what I'm saying? We was supposed to be like chapter 47 or some shit like that, you know. We wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He like, y'all not on count. You know what I'm saying? So with y'all not being on count, y'all are not real GDs, you know. Blew my top, man, you know. But I couldn't do nothing but respect it, you know. Because he knew what the fuck he was talking about. He came with the proof, you know what I'm saying? And he from the hometown, you know. I was like, yeah, this shit ain't it. Like, we been claiming this shit all this time, and we not even recognized as real gangster disciples. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some bogus shit, you know. But I said all that to say this, you know. I was on the yard with some BDs at one time. You know what I'm saying? And they rock with the GDs. It's just that they let us know, like, y'all not no real GDs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we fuck with GDs, but y'all ain't no real GDs. You know what I'm saying? And that was back when they war was popping off. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know? And it was like, hey, we all under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying? All of it. So, you know, them niggas is at war in the streets, but honestly, they all the same family. BDs, GDs, it's all the same shit. Like I said, they just split. So anyway, with Durk and his team, rotating with the Crips, it makes sense because that's what I was saying. Like they eight ball, you know what I'm saying? Crips and G's, they eight ball together. You know what I'm saying? So Durk had ties with them boys in Cali. You know what I'm saying? And that's who he had ties with. You know what I'm saying? Big U, Brick Baby, Luke's Cannon, other guys, of course, but these guys that's being brought up in this indictment, he was tied in with them. You know what I'm saying? When they got the drop that Quando was out there, who you think is the one that called him? It was one of them Crips. You know what I'm saying? They called him, they like, hey, dog, out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's bad like that, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And they about to tie all that shit together. And like I said, with the O Block shit as well. Well, as you all know, the O Block thing was behind King Vine. King Vine was supposedly had put that bag on FBG Duckhead, whatever. One of the guys down there spotted Duck downtown, called the O Block guys. They shot down there and killed him. You know what I'm saying? So they tied Durk in it as well. The prosecutors and the lawyers on that O Block case is asking, Durk tied in? Is he tied in with it? They also saying this is why the O Block case then got pushed back so far. Because they was waiting to tie Durk in into that too. You know what I'm saying? Then also, they got him tied into other, crimes that happened in Chicago with the Stefan Mack guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Durk name is tied in a lot of shit, man. He tied up in a lot of shit. And he about to be done. He about to be done, man. Whoever number 4 is, a lifelong California resident, they about to book his ass. You know what I'm saying? And the proof is right here. They just indicted 10 Crips. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be ugly, man. They about to slam the door on Durk, man. I'm telling you. And now he about to drop an album and all of this shit. Man, he know he through, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. He know he through. You know. Another thing, everybody be talking about, Durk talking about he got all his money. He gonna be straight, blah, 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 all of this shit. Man, look. With a case like his, they gonna take all his money. You know what I'm saying? They gonna take all his money. His money is gone. You could forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time he go to court, they tax him for that. You know what I'm saying? That's the court's time. So not only he getting taxed by the court, he also getting taxed by his lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So every time he have a bond hearing or, preliminary hearings, or, evidence hearings, discovery hearing, blah, 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 the fucking blah. Every time you go to court, he get taxed for that shit. So you're gonna look up one day and that money gonna be gone. And he gotta go to trial. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to spend a lot of money on that shit as well. Like, that money gonna run out. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. That shit gonna run out, man. Because they gonna be lying to him, acting like they gonna give him a good deal. He ain't gonna take the shit. So he gonna have to keep on going back and forth to court to keep fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the chances of him taking a deal? Because the deal might be 30 years. What's the chances of him taking a 30-year cop? Like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and take this 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, more than likely, he not gonna do that. He gonna fight that shit. So, with him fighting it, you gotta keep going to court. You gotta keep paying for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time that lawyer comes see him with any type of information, he gotta pay that lawyer every time. You know? And you gotta think, he not free. He is in jail. He is in federal custody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit stopped. Endorsements, you know what I'm saying? Anything he had going on, that shit is stopped. You know? He might still be getting a couple of YouTube dollars or, you know, some shit like that or whatever, but all the main shit he had going on, that shit stopped. His live body count is not here to account for a lot of things. So they just replace him with somebody that is here. You know what I'm saying? They not about to wait on him to get out of jail. Like, it ain't even a chance he about to get out. So these retailers, investors, and you know, such and such, they move on. You know what I'm saying? So the O Block case, the Rolling 60's case, and him flying in to Cali to supposedly go on with this hit. They about to nail him, man. It's sad to say, you know. Durk spent a lot of time at, you know, working hard at his craft, you know, and he just threw it away. You know, he threw it away. You know, gang bang lifestyle, you know. Even though he rich, got money, successful, all this just proves is that he was a bigger hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money he got, he still was invested in them streets. He just couldn't let it go. You know what I'm saying? And that shit caught up with him. Not everybody from the hood that gets some money is just gonna change. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them still got that mentality. They that. That's who they is. You know? And that's what Durk proved. He proved that he's still one of them. He didn't grow up out that shit, you know, because he was just supposed to took his fancy career. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to just took that and live life. Fuck it. I said this before, man. You got to take your L's. You know what I'm saying? You got to take your L's with your W's. You know what I'm saying? You got to take all of them at the same time, man. You know, because you're going to lose sometimes, you're going to win sometimes, you know. When you lose, don't be no sore loser. You know what I'm saying? Just take that L and move on. But he couldn't do that. He had that street mentality in him. So he over here linked up with the O Block guys. He over there linked up with 300 guys. He over there linked up with the Crips in LA. You know what I'm saying? Gang shit on top of gang shit. So now you get into it with some motherfuckers because what King Vine did, you know what I'm saying? King Vine got himself smoked, you know. Here come Durk following up behind the shit. You know what I'm saying? Now that shit ended his career. You know. Durk wasn't there when King Vine got killed. So what was his purpose of coming back, you know, to spin? I said this before, revenge is not a real thing, man. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't there to bag that situation when it happened, like, man, you just missed out, man. You know? But these guys really believe in revenge and get back and all of that shit. Ain't no time on it, blah, 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 blah. In reality, it is time on it. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what you do, you ain't gonna get that person back anyway. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you don't react right on site, it's a good chance your ass about to get caught up on a murder case. You know what I'm saying? Now, Durk was there, and he was there to buzz back and all of that shit, and he ended up knocking them off. He would have got off on that. You know what I'm saying? But you wasn't there, bro. It's over. You wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Take that L, move on, man. He got himself killed, man. Fuck it. It is what it is. Nah. He had to come back. Get back game. You know what I'm saying? He got his guys in Cali. Hey, let me know if dog ever slide. Whoop de whoop. You know what I'm saying? What happened? He slid. You know what I'm saying? And they hit Durk up, number 4. Co-conspirator, number 4. You know what I'm saying? A lifelong California resident. He is telling on Durk. They just ain't revealed who he is yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm thinking it's Brick Baby, you know? But they gonna reveal who he is when the trial come up. He gonna get on the stand, and we gonna see exactly who it is, you know. But just hearing that news today, or what Trench's news just dropped, he just dropped it a couple hours ago. I literally just seen it. I was like, all right, you know, I gotta go ahead and put my spin on it, you know. Coming from both sides of the shit, coming from prison and the streets, you know. Not to discredit Trenches, you know, or nothing like that, but you know, he ain't been to prison, so he really don't know how that shit go in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm throwing my spin on it. You know, shout out to Trenches News. You know, but you know, since I've been to prison and I done been in the streets, I'm speaking my side of it. You know what I'm saying? And you ask me, you know, Durk, he in there, he hurt. He lost his life. And he know it's a rap. He know it's a rap. Even if they don't got, just to say they don't got no evidence on Durk, right? He got about 15 guys in between 3 cases right now that could tell on him at any given point. You know what I'm saying? You think out of 15 guys, ain't not one of them gonna say nothing? I can guarantee it's at least 3 or 4 of them that's about to get to telling, for sure. You know, that's too many guys on one case. Well, I mean, of course they separate cases, but they about to all cooperate together. You know what I'm saying? They about to bring this OTF shit all the way to the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that OTF is about to be on the floor. You feel me? Real talk. So, man, listen. To the youngins, get on out the streets, bro. Call it quits. Y'all seen Durk came from the streets, you know what I'm saying? He made it out the hood. He became rich and famous. The whole world loved him. He had got him a good girl that loved him. He cheated on her. She still took him back. You know what I'm saying? He was living a great life, you know? He threw that shit away for the gangbang life, you know? Some shit that's about to tell on him. All 15 of them guys, at least 3 or 4 of them about to tell on him. And they both, on both sides, the Crips and the BDs, they about to tell on him. The feds play a cold game, bro. They take a long time before they come pick you up. And that's because they put their story together. You know, the feds put their story together. When the feds come out, they come out. When they come out to come get you, you in trouble. The feds just don't pick people up. When they pick you up, you in trouble. That's just how they go. So for everybody thinking he gonna beat his case and all of this shit, what? Because he a high profile rapper, they don't give a fuck about that. He's a nobody to them. A nobody. They don't even listen to his music. You know what I'm saying? So he's a nobody to them. A lot of them that's about to be on his case probably never even heard of him before. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck. They not about to show that boy no mercy. You know what I'm saying? They about to clap his ass. And they about to make sure that they about to have some people tell on him. Even the guys that's on them other cases that's gonna tell on them, them guys know they still about to get a lot of time. Ain't none of them about to get out or none of that for snitching. That's not how it go. You know what I'm saying? The only way somebody can snitch and just get out as if they really didn't do anything. If they was just there, if they got bullied into being there at the situation, something like that, and they didn't do nothing, they really didn't want to be there, but they got bullied into being there. That's the only way that they could tell and get off, as if some shit like that happened. But if you was there and you participated in the crime, it's a wrap. And all of these guys that they picked up, in between these three different cases, all of them engaged in them crimes. Whatever happened, they all was in it. You know what I'm saying? So they not about to get a get out of jail free card. Like, nah, you was in on that murder. And all of those cases is murder cases. Ain't none of them no robberies, you know what I'm saying? No kidnapping, no home invasions, none of that. All of their cases is murder cases. So the way how the system playing them is, hey, take this 20 years, you go see the parole board in 20 years, if they say you did better things like that, you can get a parole and come home. Far as this guy, he not getting out. You go ahead, you give him up, we'll cut you a deal, maybe even 15 years. Depending on how much, you gonna tell us. We might give you 15 years. This is how they talk to them guys in there. Because they like, at the end of the day, you're not going home. So you might as well make it as easy as you can on yourself. So the easiest way to make it on yourself is to tell on this guy. We know this the guy, this the big fish. We know he the one that did this, blah, blah, blah. We know he got the money. He orchestrated everything, blah, 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 blah. We need you to go ahead and tell on him. Because you know this guy. So when you get on the stand and you can tell the jurors, like, yeah, I actually know this guy, then the juror's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, he know him, so what he about to say about him is true because he actually know him. You know what I'm saying? That's the way how the system played. They want the guys that actually know the big fish to get up there on the stand and tell. That's how the feds put their stories together. You know what I'm saying? So, again, if nobody else, just on Durk case alone, whoever number 4 is, co-conspirator number 4, he is going to tell on Durk. And they saying he a lifelong California resident. You know what I'm saying? So, it could be Big U, it could be Loose Cannon, it could be Brick Baby. Whoever it is more likely coming from that rolling 60 camp. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who they was rotating with. You know what I'm saying? And the feds probably came at whoever co-conspirator number 4 is. You know what I'm saying? They didn't came at him. Hey, we'll cut you a deal, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? When all actuality, the guy gonna take it. Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna go tell on him I can get out in 15 years. All right, cool. He gonna do the rest of his life. He ain't going nowhere. So why would I go ahead and not tell on him and get myself burned for the rest of my life, and he's still going to prison for the rest of his life anyway? Why not go ahead and tell, so that way I can get out eventually? This is how snitches think. You know what I'm saying? So when they hear something like that on a murder for hire, you know what I'm saying? That's the top case. You got murder, and then you got murder for hire. You know what I'm saying? Murder for hire is on top of murder. You feel me? Like, that was a paid hit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like y'all just met up in the streets on some gangbanging shit and got to shooting at each other. Boom, somebody died. Like, nah. Murder for hire mean you was paying that cheese to get that nigga knocked off. That's worse than murder. Because you playing with people's mind frames for some money. You know what I'm saying? You having people go out there and kill people for some money because you got the money. So murder for hire is worse than a murder. You know what I'm saying? Man, again, with them guys that's on his case alone, they know what's going on. 20,000 pages of evidence. I ain't never heard nothing like that. And that's just on Durk case alone. And again, he still got the Stefan Mack situation to deal with. He still got the O Block 5, 6, how many of them on that case? He got to deal with that. And now this new rolling 60 Crip indictment. Y'all heard it at the dead beginning. That was Trench's news. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe me? Go check out Trench's news. You know, he just dropped the video, and we all know Trench's news. He know them guys for real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that he, you know, the judge or the lawyer on his case, but Trench's know what he know. You know what I'm saying? He know what he know about them guys. You know, and it ain't looking too good, man. And like I said, for me being on both sides, like they about to rob Durk for all his money. They about to rob him for all his money. And then when they get all his money out of him, they gonna smoke his ass. You know what I'm saying? They gonna let this case go on as long as the money is gonna keep going. When the money run out, that's when he gonna get sentenced. Mark my word. You know? And especially now that they got these other cases that they can corroborate with his situation, they gonna let him lay all the eggs he want. They gonna take all his money, and then they gonna cook him. He got too much going on right now. Too much. He got too much going on. Too much. You know what I'm saying? And I can guarantee you, again, out them 15 guys he got to deal with between them 3, 4 cases he got going on right now, I can guarantee you at least 2 of them is going to tell on him. And that's all it's going to take. Really, it's only going to take one. All it's going to really take is one person. You know what I'm saying? That know Durk for real, just like Trench's News was saying. How co-conspirator number 4, you know, it was able to call Lil Durk. You know, this is co-conspirator number 4 on Lil Durk's case. You know, he on the phone talking to Durk. Yeah, you know, dogging him down here now. Woo, woo, woo. Who do you think is that close to Lil Durk that they can call him like that? You know what I'm saying? How many people can just pick up their phone and call Lil Durk right now? You know, and especially on a hit, you feel me? It wasn't like he called him like, yeah, bro, come on here, come lay on the beach or something, you know? He called him on a hit, like, yeah, dog out here right now. You know what I'm saying? Ball business. Durk is done. All them other niggas done too, you know what I'm saying? But Durk is the big nigga. He the big fish. And they about to have these other guys bring him down. They gonna throw these other guys. You know what? Let me go ahead and keep it all the way at band. They might end up throwing all of them guys a deal. If they all can bring Durk down, they might give all of them a deal, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because Durk is the big fish. That's who the feds want. The feds want the big fish. The feds will let the city cops in the state deal with the little fish, you know, the O Block guys, the rolling 60s, the BDs, you know, all of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They let the state handle that. The city cops, y'all can handle them. The feds want the big guy. They want him. And the easiest way for them to get him is have all them other guys that's tied in with him tell on him. They probably all gonna tell. That's for sure. I believe that 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, that it is possible. It's very possible. Just like with the Young Thug trial, they threw all them boys a deal to tell on them. You know what I'm saying? That's how the system worked, man. So with this being such a high profile case, you know, the way it is with a high profile guy like him, he's the big fish. They about to drain him for all of his money. Mark my words, they about to drain him for all of his money. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get ugly, man. They about to show y'all that Durk ain't as big as you think he is. You know what I'm saying? He's still that same nigga from the trenches. He just got on, you know? And they about to show you, they about to bring him right back to his roots. Since that's what he want to be with money, they about to take it from him. They about to put him exactly where he want to be. Because they gave him the money. They gave him the fame. You know what I'm saying? They gave him that lifestyle. And he still couldn't let it go. He still couldn't let it go. All the places he been, all the people he done been with. You know what I'm saying? All of them didn't talk to him like, hey man, leave that shit alone. Leave that shit alone. You know how many of them millionaires done told him, hey man, let that shit go, bro. Put that shit to the side. You know what I'm saying? We get money over here. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit be. You know? You know how many of them celebrities then came at him like that? And he still, man, fuck that. $1 million worth of game. You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch the whole thing or nothing, but I seen little clips, you know. And, you know, Wallow and Gilly was on there. You know, Durk was up there with that $1 million in cash. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they telling them, like, dog, get out this shit, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, you know how many millionaires that been around him that then told him, let that shit go. You get money, dog. That shit over with, you know? Okay, it's cool if you rap about it, you know, but don't be out here on it. Just because you got 20 OTF guys behind you that's on that, blah, 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 that don't mean that you do that. You know what I'm saying? You bigger than that. You can't do that no more. You know, and that $1 million worth of game, that was the proof right there, you know? And he's still like, man, fuck that. I'm still in the streets. I still got that mentality. I'm still on that. Well, guess what? The feds don't play. They gonna use everything that they can against you. So when the trial do happen, don't be surprised if they put that $1 million worth of game clip up there on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like these older guys trying to tell him to do better, and he still wanted to be involved in the streets. You walking around with $1 million in cash, you know. He's saying that the beef ain't over, and you know, yeah, they gonna go back on all that. Fuck all of that latest shit he been doing, you know, trying to change at the last second. That go out the window. That shit not about to get used in court like he was maturing and all of that. They know what that was. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, it's a guy named Big Homie CC. You know, he was a security guard, and he was speaking on the Diddy case. Um, he was saying that you know, before the feds come get you, they mail you a letter, and they tell you that they own you, that they watching you. You know what I'm saying? So you know before they come get you. You know. So that's what that was. They slid Durk that letter. Hey, we watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like what? You thought you was slick? We watching you. And then that's when everything started changing. You know what I'm saying? Because he tried to clean up his act. But it's too late now. They didn't already slid you that letter. Hey, we watching you, dog. You know? It's too late. So now he about to go down for some shit for a guy that's dead, King Vine. He about to go down for that shit. And this is how they about to take him down. Because he wanted to get back for King Vine. And now this shit about to tie him into all these other cases that's going on. You know what I'm saying? This is how the feds play their cards, you know. They'll let you ball out in the streets and everything for a long time. They'll let you get 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how bad they want you, they'll kick back and let you live life every single day. Fuck all the hoes you want, make all the money you want. You know what I'm saying? Go to the finest restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Buy the latest whips, live in the biggest mansions. You know what I'm saying? The feds will let you do all that. Off that drug money you getting it off of, traveling state to state, all of that shit. They watching all of that. And they know what you doing. And they letting you do it because they building that case on you. Pliers said it the best. He said, I don't think 2 years worth of balling is worth 25 years. You know what I'm saying? 3 years worth of balling. Some shit like that. It was a couple of years worth of balling. It's not worth the rest of your life in prison. You know what I'm saying? And that was some of the realest shit, you know, and he said that back in the day, you know, back when he was popping and shit, you know. He was like, shit, it ain't worth it, you know. It ain't worth it, and that's exactly what it is. You know, you get a couple of years out this shit, you know, living a lavish life and all of that, and then boom, next thing you know, your ass sitting in the feds, looking at 25 to life, you know. And again, them guys in prison, they don't want to hear Lil Durk's story over and over and over. You know, like, that shit gonna get old, man. He ain't gonna be a nobody in there. By the time he gets sentenced and go to prison, he gonna be broke. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be broke. They gonna strip all his money during his trial. They getting all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap, man. And we gotta think, this the feds. They don't care about his money. They want him. The feds have an endless amount of money. You know what I'm saying? They don't need his money. Even if he got $100 million in the bank right now, they don't need that. They want him. So what they gonna do is stretch out his time before they send him to the big house. All right, come with all emotions that you gonna come with, everything that you got, go ahead, come with all of that. They gonna eat up all his money, every court date he have, every lawyer visit he have, every phone call he make, every piece of mail he send out, every visitation he get, everything that he got going on behind them walls, he getting text, man. He getting text. You know what I'm saying? He getting text. So please believe that man is gonna be broke in prison. Now, don't get me wrong, he might have people that love him, you know, that's gonna take care of him, things like that. But I'm saying, like, far as his money, most of his money gonna be gone. By the time this trial is over and they sentence him and all of this shit, all that money he got is gonna be gone. Because again, he not moving around right now. So everything that he got, all that shit been put on stop. You know, bills still go on. You know what I'm saying? He still got what? Got 10 kids? You know, the kids, they still need their part. You know what I'm saying? It don't stop just because you went to prison. Them kids, they still need they part too. So, you know, them baby mamas, they need theirs. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. Even though he is in jail, they still need theirs. And more than likely, they money, he probably wiring that money to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming straight to their account every month. Even while he in prison. So it's like this, you know. Bro threw his life away. You know. For a nigga that got himself killed. You know. This is what y'all up against when y'all out here gangbanging. you would end up throwing your life away for another nigga that threw his life away. You know what I'm saying? And to top it off, they saying that Durk and Vine didn't even know each other. You know, before all that rap shit, they didn't even know each other. You know, Durk picked them up. They became mans. Vine got himself killed. Durk turned around and retaliated off a guy he ain't even really know for real. You know what I'm saying? Lost his life, man. This is what the streets had to offer for you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no such thing as retaliation, man. This is what retaliation gets you. You know, if you don't believe what I say about revenge is not a thing, here it go right here. You see it in Lil Durk case right now. He went to retaliate for King Vine. He didn't get up on Quando and them for no reason. He got up on them for King Vine. Let's just keep it a band. And it still didn't bring King Vine back. Even though he didn't get his target, that's the worst thing about this whole situation as well. He didn't get his target. Even though he hit his man's, his cousin, whoever it was, he still did not hit his target. And, you know, Durk making music all happy about it that, you know, y'all hit the cousin or whatever. You still a clown because y'all didn't hit your target. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not condoning no violence or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it real. Not this man life thrown away and he didn't even hit his target. You know what I'm saying? His target is still alive. Dude in jail right now. He doing a couple of years. And after he do his couple of years, he gonna be back out here. And guess what? Durk is still gonna be locked up. So dog gonna do his couple of years right now, and he gonna be back in the streets. And Durk ain't gonna never have another chance to get up with him or none of that shit. They gonna make sure of it. You know what I'm saying? Threw your life away. You ain't even hit your target. So you came for the get back on your homeboy, and you didn't even hit the target. Why ain't nobody talking about that? I ain't heard not one person say, hey, you know, he might have did that, but he ain't even hit his target. You know what I'm saying? Hits is about hitting your target. You know what I'm saying? Like, who started glorifying this? It don't matter who with him. You hit whoever with him. Who? That ain't street shit, man. That's not street shit. Street shit is you hit your target. Flat out. That's street shit. You know what I'm saying? Not whoever with your target, is you hitting your target. That's the whole point. You have a target. That's who you supposed to hit. My eye keep watering. I put this lotion on my face. It irritate my eyes. But you gotta hit your target, bro. So you don't get no brownie points for that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not only you ain't hit your target, now your ass booked for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you was gonna be on all that, you at least should have cleaned up your tracks. You know. Now you going to jail for a missed target. Off of revenge for a guy that you didn't even fuck with for real like that. This is what the streets got to offer you. And y'all seen this out of millionaire street niggas. So what you think broke street niggas going through? Them same niggas you standing around right now, them niggas broke. So what the fuck you think they about to do? They about to crash out niggas. You done seen the rich street niggas crash out. What you think them broke street niggas that you around right now, what you think they about to do? They about to crash too. And with them crashing, they about to have you crash right with them. All y'all about to go together. As you can see on a daily basis, they indicting 15 to 20 guys at a time. They letting it be known they have plenty of room in jail for you. So don't think this can't happen to you. They have plenty of space. Plenty. You know what I'm saying? They gonna bang that buck. Boy, they gonna stack y'all on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. Once your ass become a number, you in the can. Don't nobody care. You was a lost soul at that point. Don't nobody care. They would put 5 or 6 of y'all in one cell together if they have to. It's supposed to be a 2-man cell. They'll put 5 of y'all in that bitch if they have to. What y'all gonna do? Some of y'all gonna have to sleep on the floor. 3 of y'all gonna have to sleep on the floor. Now y'all about to be beefing with the guys that got beds. What y'all gonna do? Some of y'all gonna get on the floor. Some of y'all gonna get the bed. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They want your prison number. You know what I'm saying? You ain't a nobody no more after that. You know? So when they stripped off all his money and he gonna go to the feds and he gonna be in there with a bunch of rich motherfuckers in there, you know, that the money he got, what he worth ain't gonna be shit compared to them where he about to go. So again, ain't nobody about to be impressed by Lil Durk. Like, he gonna be a bum compared to them type of guys up in there. You know what I'm saying? In the Cali federal prison at that, you know, where the border at, the Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? Man. But you know, Cali border a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So they deal with a lot of different type of people. You know, them cartels and all type of shit down there. You know, so it's gonna be all type of cartel dudes. You know, in that federal prison. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna look at Lil Durk like, who the fuck is he? He ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be way bigger than that. So everybody thinking that because he got some money and all of that, he gonna be straight. Man, please, he is he going to a federal prison, bro. That money he got ain't nothing to them. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? If he got $100 million, man, they seen that shit one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You got some motherfuckers that had some real money in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just use Big Meech's name. Like, everybody know Big Meech had hundreds of millions of dollars back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And when he went to prison, guess what? He went to a federal prison where everybody in there knew that nigga had $200-300 million. You know, back then. So a Lil Durk ain't nobody to them. They used to $100 million guys. You know what I'm saying? Behind them federal walls like that. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna be nobody to them, like, at all. You know, he gonna have more of a problem with defending himself. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the deal. Like I said, with the BDs rotating with the Crips, like, he out there in that California federal prison. If he don't got no Crips down there that he, you know, can get an alliance with, them guys under the fire, they gonna get on his ass. The Bloods, the Vice Lords, whoever. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get on his ass. And on top of that, he might not have that much strong of a connection in there because they pulled a hit on some Crips. You know what I'm saying? Quando Rondo was a rolling 60 Crip. So you gotta think about the rolling 60 guys that's in the federal prison where Durk would be going to. You gotta think of how they look at it like that. They might be like, nah, we ain't cool with that. Even though, you know, they had a beef or whatever, but bro was a 60. You know what I'm saying? Them 60s out there, they might not be cool with what Durk did to one of their guys. Even though Quando, you know, is from what, Atlanta or Georgia or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Still, he still was a rolling 60. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of guys that think like that. Like, nah, that was family. You know, even though he might have been distant family, but that was family. And this guy put a hit out on him. Nah, we can't rock with that. So whatever federal prison he go to down there, if the rolling 60s down there, if they don't approve of what he did with Quando, he gonna be hit in that bitch. He gonna be hit. You know what I'm saying? Is it Muslims there? You know, Muslims, they everywhere. They all across the globe. They all over the place. Yes, he definitely a fall in alliance, you know, with the Muslims. But here's the deal, man. Prison is prison. You only can have so much protection. You know what I'm saying? You only can have so much of that. It's only so much of it, you know. So he can have all of the protection he want. It's only so much of that shit. All the nigga got to do is walk past you and stab you up. You know what I'm saying? You can have all that protection you want, and it could be one guy that could just walk past you, pop, 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 pop your ass up, and you done. That's all it take. You know what I'm saying? And in prison, guys can get up on you like that because y'all in general population, so y'all all together. You know what I'm saying? You could just be standing there talking. He could be in prayer, you know, with the Muslims. And no disrespect to the Muslims, but just to say, he could be in prayer with the Muslims or whatnot. Guy could walk past, pop, 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 pop. Get him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's prison, especially federal prison. They really get down in federal prison. Like I said, out there in Cali, like, you know, they got the cartels and shit out there. You know what I'm saying? You know the Mexicans, they ain't for no games. For none. You think they care about who Lil Durk is? Like, it's about to get ugly, man. It's about to get ugly. You know, I just feel bad that, you know, he grew up to be who he is, you know, a big influence on the streets, you know. He got rich off his words, you know. He did a lot, you know what I'm saying? Just to throw that shit away, man. For nothing, man. He threw all that away for nothing, man. And now all of these kids that looked up to him and shit, now they about to turn their back on him. Everybody about to turn their back on him. For a guy that's dead, that got himself killed. You know what I'm saying? This is the fucking alleyway that you walked yourself down. You know what I'm saying? For a nigga that's dead, you know? He got himself killed. Think about King Vine. He shouldn't even been there. You know, after that concert, he was supposed to jump in that Rolls Royce or whatever he had. He was supposed to jump in that one thing and got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? You King Vine, bro. You too big for that. You know, and no diss to King Vine. I'm just laying everything out as to why all of this shit that's going on right now is going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's all because of Vine, for real, on some real nigga shit. You know. And, you know, instead of Vine being the bigger person and saying, fuck that, got in this shit and pulled off, Vine had millions of dollars. He was up. He was killing Quando and, you know, Lil Tim or whatever. Like, them niggas was nobodies to him, you know. But Vine had to, you know, let it be known he a gangster. He on that. Woo, woo, woo. Got his life took. Got his life took. Durk should let it be that then. Durk was around him. He knew how wild Vine was. You know what I'm saying? Vine got himself killed. He should have been like, you know what? Fuck it, man. That nigga was wild as hell anyway. Fuck it. You got to move on. You know what I'm saying? But he had that false hope in him, that fake revenge, that get back shit. If that shit was so real, why is it that Vine ain't stop him from getting locked up? You know what I'm saying? Even at the Vine death, why Vine ain't come back and stop him? Like, hey, you know, it's no such thing, man. When you pass away, you gone. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no getting back and all of this. It's a wrap. It's over. That person, they transition. You know what I'm saying? Move on with your life. That person transition, no matter what you do, it's not gonna bring that person back. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. It ain't no such thing as revenge. It's over, man. Look, when my man's got killed in 2010, like I said, I watched him die in my face pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I knew exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to. I wanted to get involved in that shit. You know what I'm saying? But one day I was sitting there smoking, and I was like, it don't matter what I do, it ain't gonna bring them back. You know, I'm like, bro, gone. So it ain't even worth me putting my life on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't worth me putting my life on the line when it's not gonna bring my man's back. Because that's what I want. I want my man's back. If me getting get back is not gonna bring them back, then it ain't no point in me doing it. You know what I'm saying? That was just how I had to look at it. You feel me? I'm like, if it ain't gonna bring him back, it ain't no point in me doing it. You know what I'm saying? I knew back then, like, yeah, that revenge shit is not real. It's not real, you know? And here it is, fast forward the tape, 15 years later. Now we seeing one of the biggest artists, you know, from the hood getting took down in front of our face. All because of revenge, something that ain't real. You know what I'm saying? That man gonna spend the rest of his life in prison for something that ain't even real. And them same guys he had around him, them niggas gonna tell on him, man. They gonna tell on him. They saying Jam, OTL Jam gonna tell on him too. And everybody know OTL Jam was a real street nigga, blowing niggas, all of that. He real thug, you know what I'm saying? Now his ass is supposedly one of the guys that's on Durk case that's about to tell on him. And Jam well respected in the streets. Everybody knew about Jam, you know what I'm saying? But he labeled as one of the guys that's about to take him down. This is what the streets had to offer you. The roughest, toughest guys be the ones that's gonna tell on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. You loyal to it, but all of them guys around you, they about to take your ass down. Especially if you the big fish. Oh, you done blew past all of them, the real street guys that was really blowing shit and, you know, putting in that work, and you blew up off of talking about it when you wasn't even doing it, you was just talking about it. Oh yeah. Them guys, they crowded around you. You know what I'm saying? They crowded around you. They watching your every move. So when something happened and the feds jump on their ass, hey, we know your man's the big fish, you know. Why don't you go ahead and give him up? We give you a time cut. They be like, cool, I ain't like that nigga no way. All right, you gonna let me go out here and kill 3 more people before I gotta get on the stand and tell on him? Big. And that's exactly what happened. They let them kind of guys out of jail for a minute because they know that they're gonna get caught up again anyway. You know, and that's exactly what happened with Jam. They let him out. He had did like 12 years or something, you know what I'm saying, for blowing at niggas and shit. You know, he did his time. They let him out. What happened? Durk picked him up instantly. You know what I'm saying? Durk picked him up, gave him 50 bands off the rip. Here you go. 50 to get Jam out that jam. You know what I'm saying? And now what? Jam is labeled as one of the co-conspirators on his case that's about to take him down. This is what the streets had to offer you. Let that shit go, man. Move on. Fuck you. Go get a job. Go work wherever. Man, look. If you don't got nothing to do, listen. I don't care how street you is. If you don't got nothing to do and you don't know what your next move is, but you want to get out the streets, look, man. I'm just being all the way 100. I'm saying this because this is a transparent job. It's pretty much everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Go get a job at McDonald's. I'm not saying that to sound cliche to be funny or none of that shit. I'm real like being serious. You know what I'm saying? If you go do that, You gonna build up a check. You know what I'm saying? And that shit will force you not to want to be in the streets no more. You get to work, you get to eat for free. You know what I'm saying? You getting paid. When you in a McDonald's, you in there with women. You know what I'm saying? They always got women in there. The women run the cashiers, you know, the windows, shit like that. They had the women talk to the guests. And you as the man, you be in the back on the fryers and shit and doing shit like that, you know? So you still gonna be in there with the women. You get to eat and you gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and do that, man. Fuck what everybody talking about. Talking that McDonald's shit. Man, look, McDonald's gonna get you out the way, bro. Cause listen, right? You got a guy like Lil Durk that had the whole motherfucking lifestyle. And now his ass is sitting in a federal jail. I can guarantee you every night he lay down, he wished that he was working at McDonald's. What I was just saying. I guarantee you right now, he lay down, he think like, man, I wish I could be working at McDonald's right now just to be free. I would do that instead of all of the shit that he been doing over the years, all of the shows he done had, all the yachts he done laid on, you know, popping the biggest bottles, you know what I'm saying, being around the baddest bitches, blah, 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 blah. I guarantee you, he laying there on his bed wishing that he could trade everything he done had and did right now to work at McDonald's. That's some game for your ass. You know what I'm saying? So again, guys in the streets, if you don't know nothing else to do, just go get a job at McDonald's. Because I guarantee you, Lil Durk wish he could be in your position right now to go get that job at McDonald's. And if you don't want to go get that job at McDonald's, guess what? They're going to put your ass in the box too. And then you going to be in there too. Wishing, damn, I wish I would have just got that job at McDonald's. How you know, Mr. Roll Up? Nigga, I've been in prison. You feel me? I've been there. Every guy in that bitch wish that they could work at McDonald's right now instead of being in there. Every last one of them. And I'm on the yard with 1,500 to 2,000 guys every day. And every last one of them wish that they could be working at that McDonald's in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? The local McDonald's in their neighborhood where they know everybody in the hood go to. They know everybody you see them. They know everybody gonna laugh at them. Oh, nigga, you work at McDonald's. Woo, woo. They all say the same shit. They all be like, man, I wish I could work at that McDonald's instead of being in here. I wish I could work at that McDonald's right now. Niggas being there smiling, crying like, I love to get joked on right now about working at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So, again, for me, having the experience, already being there, I'm trying to say y'all right now. Because life ain't always about the fast money, the flashy cars, the biggest house, and all of that shit. Man, life is about surviving, bro. That's what life is about. Life is about surviving and being free. Eventually, all of that shit will come. But if you can survive and stay free, that's the goal right there alone. That's the goal itself. Stay alive and free. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Everything else gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. It's gonna happen. It's just called being productive in life. You stay productive, you stay alive, you stay out of trouble, you be productive. What you want gonna come back to you. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you gotta go ahead and work at the local McDonald's in your neighborhood that you know everybody go to, that you know everybody gonna get the clown you, oh, this nigga work at McDonald's, woo woo. Yeah, go ahead, let them laugh at you. Let them laugh at you. Build your money up. Let me tell you something about that as well. You wanna know something? You go and get that job at McDonald's and all of that shit. And everybody come through there and they laughing at you like, oh, this nigga a bum. He work at McDonald's, woo, woo, right? Y'all let them do all of that, right? After you stack your money up and you do your thing, you move on to the next segment of your life. All them same motherfuckers that talked about you, they gonna be still in the same spot, and you gonna blow past them. Because you didn't stacked up that McDonald's money that got you on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? You saw a vision in that shit. They didn't. All they saw was you was back there flipping burgers. So your ass a bum because you was flipping burgers. But if you want to go ahead and take the street route like them and do the shit that they do, your ass could be in prison just like Lil Durk. Laying on that bunk, wishing that you would have took that job at McDonald's. It's been another live stream of Roll Up a Pull Up. So get your blunts rolled and your Drake poured.